Hello, my name is Vidya Bhushan Kumar and my application number is T003127 and I am a member of Group 2 and today my group will be discussing on electrification of Indian Railway. And in this presentation, I will be discussing on first topic, that is bad impacts of coal and diesel locomotive, and rest all the topics will be discussed in sequence by my fellow group mates. In first topic, it is written that steam locomotives were first developed in the United Kingdom during the early 19th century and used for railway transport until the middle of the 20th century. As steam engines were less efficient and also significantly more workforce was required to operate them, so they were replaced by diesel locomotives in late 70s. As diesel locomotives can safely be operated by one or two persons, so it is more cost efficient than steam engine. Now I will be discussing on impact on environment. Both diesel and steam locomotive emit sulfur dioxide and carbon dioxide, which plays a major role in climate change and also in acid rain. They also emit nitrogen oxide and fine particles which are a risk to public health. Now I will be discussing on pollution caused due to diesel and coal locomotives. Diesel locomotives had already been a part of concern in city of Chicago. As you can clearly see in the screenshot mentioned below, it is written that Mitra readers subjected to high amounts of diesel soot. Actually, this is an incident of 2010, and in that and about that incident, Chicago Tribune also reported that people residing near Chicago are most likely exposed to diesel emissions at levels several times higher than the national average for urban areas. Now I will request my fellow groupmate Atul Kumar to continue with his slide.
Hello friends, I am Atul Kumar Yadav and my application number is T003451. Now friends, I will continue our today's topics and I will discuss about the need for electrification. In this topic we will discuss about why is the need for electrification of railway important. And next we use of railway electrification. Next, why should electrification be priority of Indian Railway. And next topic, major benefits of the electrified train to the people of India. And next we will some point about the advantages of electrification. So we will move our first topics. First point, need for electrification. So electrification will provide energy efficient, eco-friendly mode of transport and also improve system throughout by modernization of railway system. Mission electrification will result into seamless train operation on electric traction. Next we will discuss about the use of electrification. It supplies electric power to railway trains and trains without onboard prime mover or local fuel supply. Next we will discuss about why should the electrification be priority of the Indian Railway. In order to control spiraling fuel, reduce dependence on imported fossil oil, increase energy security of the nations, reduce pollution, improve operational efficiency and operating ratio of IR. Next we will discuss about some benefits. First point, it will reduce railway fuel consumption cost by over rupees more than 10,000 crores per annum. Second, eliminating diesel consumption will reduce demand for crude oil and hence reduce the import bill. Third point, it will reduce the railway carbon footprint and make the rail corridor green. Now we will discuss the point about the advantages. They have quicker acceleration, lower fuel cost, produce fewer CO2 emissions and are lighter, meaning they create less wear on tracks. Mumbai-Ahmedabad high-speed rail corridor is the India's first high-speed rail corridor and its operating speed is 320 km per hour. Indian Railway has electrified till now 45,881 routes of kilometers and which is a total of 71% of the total of the Indian railway system. And it was completed by March 31, 2021. Now, our government plans to electrify all the routes of Indian Railway by 2023. So friends, next we will call our next group members to continue.
Hello, my name is Rand Kumar and my application number is 3003939. Now I would talk about the contribution of Nikola Tesla. Well, all of you will must be familiar with this greatest scientist of all time named Nikola Tesla, born on 10th July 1856, the inventor of alternating current. Well, why do we need alternating current over direct current? AC is less expensive and easy to generate than DC. The distance covered by AC is more than that of DC. The power loss during transmission of AC is less than when compared to DC. On 3rd February 1925, the first electric passenger train in India ran between Victoria Terminus and Kurla on 1500 volt DC overhead traction, but it was very inconvenient for the British Indian Railways due to the drawbacks of direct current. Well, how did alternating current help Indian Railways? Do you know earlier when electrification was started, people started stealing light bulbs and fans. Stopping people from stealing these things was nearly impossible, but with the help of alternating current, by changing the frequency of this current, the stealing was stopped as these appliances were not compatible with the electricity supplied at the homes. Well, at last I would like to share our thought of Nikola Tesla. Be alone, that is the secret of invention. Be alone, that is when ideas are born. Well, next I would like to call my next teammate to continue.
Hello everyone, my name is Samandeep Bhagat and my application number is T000006 and I am going to talk about the topic role of engineers in electrification of Indian Railways. First, the Indian Railway Service of Electrical Engineers IRSEE is one of the Group A central engineering services of the Indian Railways. The officers of this service are responsible for managing the electrical engineering organization of Indian Railways. Now I talk about the history of electrification of Indian Railways. The IRSEE was created as an organized service after the nationalization of Indian Railways 1947 to 1950. The electrical department was designated a minor department and was under mechanical department headed by the member of Railway Board. In 1987, after the Fourth Pay Commission, the Railway Board was expanded and a member created to look after the electrical department and the signal and telecommunication department. Now, the role and functions of the electrical engineers in Indian Railways. The affairs of this cadre are responsible to maintain the assets of the electrical department in Indian Railways. They are mainly divided in the following branches: General Service, Traction Operation, Traction Distribution, and Traction Rolling Stock. Traction Rolling Stock includes production and maintenance of electrical locomotives, electrical multiple units, and the main line EMU. Traction Distribution includes the maintenance of substations and overhead equipment involved in movement of rolling stock. The assets are monitored and controlled by SCADA systems. Thank you everyone. That's all from my side. Now I will call my next team member to continue.
Hello everyone. I am Mohit Prakash Srivastava and my application number is T002392 and I will explain about the impact of economy. At the infant stage of electrification, first the switch over to electric traction through spells a good investment at the cost of sustaining economical and environmental returns for the railways. However, investment into the setting up of full-fledged electrified networks are comparatively high. Second, the capital expenditure for the establishment of electrified networks is approximately 70 lakhs per kilometer with an additional operational cost of rupees 10 lakhs per kilometer. Third, the blueprint of electrification has been elaborately explained in Mission 41K, outlining Indian Railways electrification. Next, the lack of resources for rapid electrification. Out of total networks of 66,687 route kilometers, that is RKM, only 30,012 RKM is electrified. According to roadmap checked out by Railway Board last year, Railway would electrify at least 22,400 RKM by the year 2020 to 2021. In the table given below, the Kerala is the only state which successfully achieved its target, that is 1,045 kilometers network, and electrified network is 873 kilometers. Then the percentage is 83%. Next, the energy consumption pattern. First, The Indian Railway during first year of new regime consumed 80.25 billion units of electric energy generated in Indian economy. Second, the expenditure through the use of electric traction and non-traction appliances amounted to rupees 12,635 crores. In this table, the type and amount. The type is traction and non-traction. In traction, 10,436 crores. In non-traction, 2,199 crores. Third, non-traction appliances refer to use of electricity at workshop, production unit, offices, station. Thank you. I will invite my next team member to continue. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Sandeep Singh. My application ID number is T006540. I am continuing with the topic History of Electrification in Indian Railway. In 3rd of February 1925, the first electric train was ran between Victoria Terminus and Kurula on 1500 volt DC overhead traction. It had travelled 15 km during the journey. Camel layered and Ardinghan wagon fabric manufactured the locomotive for this train. This was followed by the expansion of electric traction in the northeastern line of Central Railways up to Igatpuri and Pune. In the southeast line, where heavy ascent on the western Ghats made the commissioning of electric traction mandatory. West railway stations in suburban section between Kolba and Borivali on 5th of January 1928 and South Railway Madras Beach and Tambaram on 15th of November 1931 began 1500 volt DC traction. Thus before independence, 388 km in India, the railroad was electrified on DC traction. After independence, during the first 5-year plan, the work of electrification of Howrah-Barbara section of Eastern Railway at 3000 volt DC was started and completed in 1958. Due to intensive studies and experiments carried out in Europe, especially in the French railways, resulted in an economical method of electrification on 25 kV AC traction. Indian Railways decided to adopt 25 kV AC system of electrification as the standard system in 1957 by taking SNCF as its advisor at initial stage. Indian Railway is on the course to complete the electrification of entire broad gauge network by 2023 with 66% of track length already covered so far. Thank you. Now I would like to invite my next team member to continue.
Hello everyone, my name is Harpreet Singh, application number T001341, and I will be talking about the steps taken by the government for electrification. So the Indian government founded an organization in 1979 that was Central Organization for Railway Electrification, headquartered in Prayagraj, under the ownership of Indian Railways for the sole purpose of railway electrification of the Indian Railways network. Indian Railways has electrified 45,881 routes kilometers, that is about 71% of the total broad gauge network of Indian Railways. 64,689 RKM including Konkan Railways by March 31, 2021. It is planned to electrify all routes of Indian Railways by 2024. Prior to 2014, the railway electrification had been moving at a normal pace. However, 26 years later, it is remarkable to consider the positive changes that has taken place. The worldwide energy sector has also moved a great deal during this period, particularly in terms of efforts made by all stakeholders to strengthen the policies to tackle the threat of climate change. Focusing on India's energy scenario in general and Railways Mission 100, electrification in particular, two main positive developments that stand out are decision to electrify its entire broad gauge network in a mission mode to provide environment-friendly, green and clean mode of transport to its people. Decision to unleash its potential to use renewable energy, especially solar, by making use of high land parcel available along the railway track. Railways has framed a well-designed policy Mission 100. Electrification, a game changer in Indian energy sector, and there is tremendous opportunity for India to develop and successfully meet the aspirations of its citizens, both for freight and passenger segments, without following the high carbon pathway that other economies have pursued in the past. There were measures taken by the Indian Railways for adaptive thing. First was use of cylindrical mechanics foundation. The convention type of OHE foundation requires enormous manpower to perform excavation and it's time consuming. To overcome such difficulties and improve foundation progress, cylindrical foundations with mechanized arguing is introduced in southern part of the country, which takes considerably lesser time. Second, use of state-of-art automatic wiring crane for expeditious completion of RE work. Automatic wiring crane used RE work is capable of stringing both catenary and cord-track wires together to achieve desired tension in overhead conductors. This has helped in wiring at a faster pace to achieve the set target. I would request the other teammate to continue.
Hello friends, I am Karthikeya Tiwari and my application number is T006554. Now I will be discussing about the benefits of AC engine over DC engine. First we talk about DC motor engine. In earlier times, we used DC motor to run electric train because it has high starting torque. DC motor consumes less energy in comparison of AC motor. The equipment used in DC motor is cheap. It also causes no electric interference with nearby communication lines. Why Indian Railway is currently using AC motor engine instead of DC motor engine? Controlling speed in DC motor is difficult. So we use 3-phase AC motor, which work on IGBT technology, which provides better speed control, better acceleration control, better attractive force, higher adhesion levels, and maintenance cost is also less for AC motor. AC motor is lighter than DC motor for the equivalent power. AC motor uses regenerative braking system, which generates electricity when we apply brakes. We can store this electricity and use later. Now I will request to my next group member to continue.
Hello, my name is Pratibha Sinha and my application number is T000271. I am going to speak on the topic benefits of electrification. Speed. Seamless train operation by eliminating detention of train. Capacity. Enhancing line capacity due to higher speed and higher haulage capacity. Safety. Improved signaling system. Less financial burden because electric transaction is much cheaper. Seamless movement. Electric multiple units are ideal for suburban services which require high acceleration and braking features. Employment generation. Direct employment during the construction phase for electrification. Sustainability. Reduced carbon footprint. Energy security. Total shift to electric transition will reduce fossil fuel consumption and reduction in greenhouse gases. Energy bill saving. It provides saving of rupees 13,510 crore per annum in fuel bills as maintenance of electric locomotive is low as compared